Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Delays and welcome back to Anti-Material Energy. In the last episode, we were working on a bunch of different things, including harvesting sheep and trying to get as many quests done as we can. We got the spikes in the conveyor belts for the mob farm, and we were working towards getting the Philosopher stone. So, we did the alchemy, the book of secrets. We were starting to get MineChem through diamonds because that's the most logical way, and I've been processing pretty much everything in my system so that I can get as much just base elements as I can. And everything is processed except for a little bit of cellulose, which I'll get to later. We're not going to do this today, but that is for use of making more plains capsules. So there's 2 stacks of 60. That'll give us 6 more sets of the plains capsules if we want that many. Otherwise we'll just decompose the rest. The nanotubes, anything that's nanotubes, are still in there, and then the paracel, which is something else we're going to want. But everything else we've decomposed, so, or are in the process of doing so. It's taking forever because this machine fills up so quickly, but it's okay. So the main thing that I did with this is I got a total of 9 diamonds. So we have plenty of diamonds. And I really should save that guy. One of these days we'll get a villager. That'll be super important as well. But for now, not too much of an issue. So let's go ahead and cook up 6 more diamonds. And then we need to make, well, we need to make this red ball, the MineChem stone. Now this thing does require a little bit of iron and gold, plus some stone, to make an inert stone. And then we put this thing in there with enough MineChem dust, which we'll have soon enough, and it will make us this MineChem stone. Now this thing we'll be able to use with coagulated blood, a divining rod, the tome of alchemical knowledge, which we made last time, to make the Philosopher stone. So that's the idea. Let's go ahead and make the divining rod, because why not? I don't even know. I think it's like so. Yes, divining rod. So I don't know what this does. I don't know if it does anything, to be honest, but we have it now. By the way, we killed the chicken last time. These guys have grown up, and we're gonna get more eggs, which is awesome. Let's go ahead and go kill whatever's in here while we wait for things. But the plan is, we also did some calculator stuff last episode, but we're not gonna do that today. The plan is just kind of focus on, well, we might get to calculator. The big thing that we need is to get closer to what we need in terms of like the blaze powder and all that kind of fun stuff, so we can make some better toys. There's a couple things that I'd really like to have, but something we need to do is, as you can probably have seen, there's a little bit of blood in here. We need to stand in here and take some damage. Since there's some hot liquid in here, every damage tick that we take, we will put some blood in. And that is unfortunately the best way we can handle this right now. So there's 20 blood. If we want to make the Philosopher's Stone, we're gonna need a whole lot of it. Wow. So we might want to look into some other things, but that's fine. So this will make the MineChem stone, and then we're gonna be making the sanguine star, aka the Philosopher's stone. Now this did unlock another quest with the chest with symbols, aka the alchemical chest. This is a big chest, it does cool things, but it requires more MineChem dust. But there is the MineChem stone, and that is a quest completed. We got a good reward bag, so let's grab our decor. Ooh, some glass. That's actually not too bad. So what are we going to want to do? Well, we have different dusts. We have this MineChem stone. We have the tome of alchemical knowledge. But we need Let's see, ash. Is it verdant, then azure? Yes. However you say that word. Alright, we have 60 spawn eggs. We're gonna have some fun. So the sheep will die and give us a lot of blood. So not too bad. We can pop one of these out. Grab all the wool. And we're gonna need 6 of these. So that is kind of the problem, but we can manage. So there's 2. Is there any other ways to get blood? Oh, rotten flesh. Well, if we have enough rotten flesh, if I look in the right place, we certainly can get more. So we have 25. Just put all this rotten flesh in there, and we'll kind of deal with it as we go. So is there any other ways to get blood? Let's see, recipe for this guy, blood. No. In rotten flesh, we can synthesize it, but that's not something we really need to do. Speaking of synthesizing, let's get some of the stuff out of there and put all the hydrogen. By the way, we are doing really good for power. So that's not a concern really right now, but we'll kind of see how things go. So if we want to get the Philosopher Stone, because that's what it's actually called, it's not called the Sanguine Star, Divining Rod, MineChem Stone, Blood, and a Tome of Alchemical Knowledge in the center. So why do we want this thing? Well, it's really powerful, that's why. So 205, there is another one. It's going to allow us to get a lot of different things that we're going to need in order to get the Flawless Calculator. The Flawless Calculator is pretty nasty to do. It does require an atomic calculator, which isn't that bad. Electric diamonds, which requires a conductor mass, which we haven't made yet. So a lot of things we just haven't quite gotten to. But one of the big things with this is emeralds. Emeralds are really, really difficult to get. We need at least one before anything happens. One way to get emeralds is villagers. You can obviously trade with them, or you could just burn them in the smeltery alive, and you'll get what you want. But there is another way, and it all requires beryllium. So beryllium is used to make beryl, which is super duper useful for a lot of different things. We're going to need this stuff for later. One secret about MineChem is eventually we'll get to the point where we can make things using base elements. So, for example, titanium has an atomic number of 22. We'll be able to make a fusion chamber so that we can combine, what is like 11? Do I have? Sodium. I can combine 2 sodiums to make a titanium. That is chemical fusion, and it's really cool, but it's also really expensive. And that was exactly enough. Okay, so there's 2 more. How many more do we need? 2 more. Alright, we're going to need a few more of these guys later, but for right now, let's go ahead and we'll just summon in some more sheep. They should just stay there and die. And it looks like we're going to need 2 more if we want to make what we want. Now, obviously, we have all these sheep spawn eggs. I don't want to use them all because they are a safety precaution type thing. But I think this is a valid way. I didn't realize I was only get like 5 blood from myself. So it's not really something. So it's 320? Perfect. Because once we have And this is the key. Once we have the Philosopher's Stone, we'll be able to make some really cool things. And from that, we can move animals around much more easily. That's something else I want to make today. That's one of the fun toys. So there is the Sanguine Star. And that completes a reward. So now there's a bunch of this kinetic matter and whatnot. Some of this stuff is really kind of cool. But it all comes from essentia matter? Omnimatter, which is a bunch of antimony. Well, let's take a stack of antimony. Actually, let's take all this stuff out because we're making so much hydrogen. And let's just take all of this stuff out for right now. Let's get another stack of antimony. And can we make 2 of these? No. We do not have enough energy. So there's one. And that is why we need so much energy. But that's okay. Max output 1,000. Okay, so once this has enough, oh, we already made 2. I didn't see it because of reasons. But we can put this in here. And what's the Omnimatter used for? Well, not much other than turning it into other things. I don't even think there's not even a quest for that. But we can get Essentia Berry bushes with Essentia Matter. So that's something we'll have to keep in mind. So that produced a lot of things that I wasn't expecting. Methyl, carbonate, nitrogen dioxide, and toluene. Alright, we're going to take... Oh, I clicked recipes. Ugh. I went an episode not doing that. It was wonderful. And then I did it. So, we're kind of to the point in equivalent exchange where we can do whatever we want. Once you have access to the Philosopher's Stone, you can start turning things into other things. And that's kind of the whole point of equivalent exchange. It's the idea that every item in existence has a energy value, and that you can create things if you have enough of that energy to make it. So the whole idea, it's an old idea with alchemy, turning things to gold, turning anything to gold. And so gold is kind of the standard. In equivalent exchange, diamond is kind of the standard, like, high cost thing. This is frozen. Apologies. There's nothing wrong with the video. It'll take a second. It's coming up with like a couple thousand recipes. Yeah. So the whole point of all of it is kind of we need to kind of get access to more stuff through using other things. If that makes sense, I hope it does. So, for example, if we look at the uses of this Sanguine Star, using the different matters, we can make things, which is really cool. But, more importantly, using anti-blocks, we can make Netherrack, which is amazing, and Endstone, whether we get Verdant or Azure Dust. So... ash is like whatever. We can get ash very easily because it's literally just whatever you want to throw in there. So we can get a stack of Endstone and a stack and a half of Netherrack. Now, why do we want that? Well, put it quite simply, Netherrack has some interesting things as well as Endstone. And we can make things with this stuff. So that's kind of the point. We'll put this away for now. And the Omnimatter we'll put in there. We'll come back to that. So we have some reward bags. These are all good. And we're going to get a bunch of decorative blocks. The wool and clay is actually not a decorative block, but I'm going to put it in there anyways. Is it useful for much? We can get Verdant dust out of it. So that's nice. But... For now, it doesn't matter. Alright, so let's take all of this stuff out. And I'll compress things up later. It's not that big of a deal, but that's going to take some time to process. So let's put the wool away. And let's look at... That's the wrong one. Wool goes over here. So let's look at what we want to get. So, for example, beryl. How do we get some beryllium? Well, we can get it with a very small chance from netherrack, a little bit better chance from nether bricks, or a really good chance from endstone. So we want to process endstone more than anything else. Let's go ahead and do something like this. Can we compress netherrack? No, but we can turn into soul sand very easily with some cool things later. And it's a lot more efficient to use netherrack for lava than cobblestone. So that's good to know as well. So we're going to take half a stack of endstone, which can we use this for anything cool? Ritual of the End, Ender Infused. How do you make these arcane prisms? Don't know. Skyblock. Skyblocks are weird. Skyblocks are very weird. We'll need it for pear saplings. End diamonds, we'll need endstone for that. And diamond saplings, which are really useful. Actually, I wonder. So diamond saplings will get us flawless diamonds and flawed diamonds. What can we use these for? We can get fire diamonds from them. Can we do anything awesome? No, not really. Okay. Let's go kill some mobs while we wait for things to process. But what we're going to do now is we're going to start, well, decomposing some of our stuff so that we can hopefully get what we want. Which is, we're going to want a little bit of blaze powder. Blaze powder is actually the next thing that's on my goals. And how do we get blaze powder? Well, we can make blaze powder, actually. But we can also get it from plutonium, which, hey, guess what? Blaze rods and endstone can give us plutonium. We're going to need plutonium. That is the last quest in this section. That was, well, messed up. I don't think it's supposed to be plutonium. I think it's supposed to be radium chloride. But it's messed up, and it's a bad thing. I'm going to reload the scripts. I'm still recording after the last episode. So everything should be fine, but I like doing that multiple times just to make sure. So we're getting some new elements, sulfur, from decomposing a lot of this stuff, which is good. We're going to need that stuff. But let's replace that for right now. So there's some einsteinium and plutonium and beryllium. Wow, I can't speak. So let's grab the other half a stack and we'll do it again. So most of this stuff can just go back through. But we're going to get some really interesting things. So lithium, gallium, silicon. Some of the stuff is highly radioactive though, so we do need to be careful. So plutonium, einsteinium, francium, which is incredibly radioactive. We'll put it back in the leaded chest. Anything else? No. Okay, so the einsteinium is fairly radioactive. That can be used to make ender pearls, but the plutonium is what we needed. So there it is. We'll claim that reward, and blank canvas is completed. Now we can also do this to get a little bit of blaze powder. We just want one for right now. And we're gonna do that just so we can see it. And we'll put that away. So lots of things. Neodymium, which is a lanthanide, which is kind of cool. Iridium, sodium, nickel, chlorine, zirconium, nitrogen, arsenic, carbon. Lots of cool things. So let's put all this stuff away. We have a lava generator that's very powerful, and a basic reward bag gives us some more biotite, which we'll put in there. And this is a little bit less important now. So, lava generator can go in there. Alright, so what do we want to make now? Well, the big thing I want to make is a golden lasso. So we're going to need 4 gold nuggets. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to need blaze powder and an ender pearl, which I have a couple, and some string. And this is going to make something that's amazing. Golden lasso. Awesome. So this is one of my favorite tools in the game. This is going to allow us to pick up animals and put them wherever we want. We don't like the pigs in here, we can move them. If something escapes, we can move it. And so the idea is we can store whatever animals we want. Now, it only works on passive mobs, but that's okay. So that is awesome. That's something I wanted. And that's something I've wanted for a while. So, what else do we need to do? Alchemy stuff. Of course we need to do more alchemy stuff. We also need to do some paracel stuff. To get the mob, we're going to need a golden egg. That's going to require a lot of gold. So, at this point, kind of the idea is we need to get a lot of things. So let's kind of work on something. Let's work on eating first. I think that'd be good. Alright, so glycine, aline, serine, all this stuff is basically comes from string wool, and there's a lot of stuff. So it's kind of okay, kind of whatever, but kind of annoying as well. So what's some stuff we need to do? I think we need to look at the alchemy stuff. So alchemy unlocked a couple things. So there's an alchemical bag, so we need more minim dust. We're gonna need a lot of minim dust. So what else can we do with this stuff that we have now? We can obviously make Endstone Netherrack. I have an alchemy bag, but that one's got fancy symbols. So the recipe for this one is, yeah. So there's different things you can do. There's different alchemy bags you can make, and we need to have very specific ones. And it's dependent on the dust that you use. So I guess let's go ahead. We have this omni matter. I'd like to break that down and see if we can't get some of this other stuff, but all that requires a lot of power. So I guess let's look at making emeralds. So we're gonna need 1 emerald so that we can get this, where is it? Atomic assembly. There's only the 1 emerald that we need, so let's go ahead and try to get that. Clear this out as often as we can. So to make an emerald, we're gonna need, I shouldn't have went that way, vanadium and chromium. Vanadium, do we not have, we have a void matter. That's nice. So we have 1 of those. Uses, recipes, so that comes from the omni matter. That requires amorphous matter. which we also get from that stuff. Okay, so these quests are actually a lot more difficult than I thought, although I think the one thing is broken. There is no recipe for corporeal matter. Maybe that's the amorphous. Maybe that's what that's supposed to be. I don't know. We're gonna kind of just roll with it. But we need a Illuminati pet. True invisibility. Spawn 1 or 2 random items. Requires a nether star, which we can make. Okay. So emeralds. We need chromium, and we need vanadium. Vanadium comes from emeralds. Emeralds. So I don't think we can do that. There's got to be another way. So barrel is going to allow us to make stuff. So I guess we're going to have to continue on with calculator. So let's take this stuff out. And we should probably, let's see, the only other thing I can think of is villagers. And that's going to be a problem. So chromium, I think we have, yeah, we have chromium. We have a good bit of chromium. So that's not a problem. Okay, so if we want to improve our calculators, we're going to need the atomic calculator. That's the next one. So we have the scientific calculator. We have basic calculators. We're going to need... Did I get rid of my basic calculator? I have the scientific one. Oh no, it's right there. Alright, so we have 2 of the calculators. We need the atomic calculator. The atomic calculator requires an emerald. Of course. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. In fact, that's what we have this stuff for. So we just need some of this stuff. But we need to get an emerald. We need this atomic assembly. And I think the only way I can think of to get it, this vanadium is just not going to cooperate. Emeralds, and then things that require emeralds to make. Grave pets, shield pet, yep. If it has an emerald, it will give us what we want, but player interface, summoner, the flawless calculator, anything that has the atomic assembly will require. Okay, well then, so I guess we're gonna need emeralds. What to do? Let's go ahead and work on, let's see, we can get the precision chambers. So the recipe for this is actually pretty easy. It's going to require some iron blocks. So that's a little expensive, but how much iron do we have? Not that much. Um, 16. Thank you. Are you fully powered? Yes. So we can get that. Hey, here's another stack of iron. Let's take the basic stuff out. And I really, this is the struggle in this mod pack, is trying to figure out kind of the way to handle different situations. One of the big things that we could do to get plenty of the reinforced iron is you can get this stuff from a stone separator. So let's take a look at that. Let's get rid of all that stuff, and then we'll just do the stone separator. That requires 2 power cubes. That is really expensive. There's got to be a better way to get power cubes. Extraction. Analyzing. So, more chambers. So the extraction chamber, we can use the we're going to need more extraction chambers. Processing, precision, analyzing. Oh man, this is expensive stuff. So we're going to need a lot of iron. That is kind of what I've discovered. So what I think we should probably focus on doing is getting a mob farm set up and trying to get as much stuff as we can from that. So why a mob farm? Well, basically we're going to get plenty of mob drops, including potentially iron bars if we make a diamond spike. That is not something that's really feasible at this point, but it is something we can do. It's just whether or not we should, because it's going to require a lot of gold and that kind of stuff. So part of that as well is going to be we need to get more stuff in terms of like we need to get more of the charges, we need to get more spawning area and all that kind of stuff. And once we do, that'll make our lives a lot easier, but it's still going to be a pain. These turn into the paracel. So let's take a look at this real quick, because if we break this down, we'll get a little bit of iron and then this paracel stuff, which is not useful except for making more paracel. So it's not something that we want to really break down. What can we use it for? We can make a lot of different things, but nothing that's particularly useful. Get some more charcoal. That's for fuel. And this stuff we can use to make the mobs, but we need more gold. We're going to need 8 gold in total. Let's try to do that. Let's actually try to do that. Let's make the mobs and kind of continue with Paracel for just a little bit. This episode's almost over. We need to kind of to step away, and I need to do some work on the mob farm type stuff. There's a lot of mobs over there. Let's go kill them all real quick. Try to power up our hammer some more. But it is definitely going to be one of those things. I'm going to try to get enough charges to plains biome this entire area. But that's going to take a good bit of work and resources, specifically carbon. So I'll find some things that have a lot of carbon in them, and then we can go from there. Alright, so that is a lot of drops. Gunpowder and stuff like that is going to be kind of key. We're going to have a lot of calcium and stuff coming in because of the bones and just whatever we can find. So this is also going to give us a lot of nitrogen. But before we do anything, did that seriously give us nothing? Alright, well, we can at least try to get the gold. So how much? We have no gold. How do we make gold? Let's take a look. So Paracel mob. We need gold. Gold is made from... Why do I always go that way? We can get gold from gold ore, obviously. But I think the key way is there is a material. What is that? Yellow. Yellow antimaterial. Let's take, not that, 2 stacks. We'll chisel it yellow. And this stuff will be done soon enough. So, just take that out. Do that. And that'll be fine. So we got 12. It's not very much. But that did give us a good bit of... No, it didn't. It gave us a little bit. So we're going to need more. Let's try to get this... There's 1 piece. We need 8. And an egg. The egg is easy. We have plenty of eggs now. So is there anything else to get gold? There's got to be another way, right? Not really. Okay. Fair enough. Anything that has gold. Gold can also come from still lava, but I don't really want to use that. So let's go ahead and put that in there. Just take stacks at a time. I can always get plenty more of this stuff, so it's not like it's a big deal to use the anti-blocks. There's plenty of it kind of hanging around. Let's take all that. We'll keep the anti-material on us for right now. Man, MineChem is a little buggy. It's kind of annoying sometimes, but... Alright, nitrogen, and then there's plenty of nitrate ions left. So once this is done, we have 1 paracel. We're going to need more. But the problem is we haven't been getting too many paracel. But this is giving us a good bit of the anti-material. That's going to give us a lot of silver. Now, I don't know that we can do much with silver at this point, but it's good to have. For anything other than it's a fairly high... silver is 47. It's a fairly high value. So it's not bad to have. Let's go ahead and take that. 32. There's 2 more pieces. So we just need 3 more. 40. Oh, so close. So I guess we take another couple of stacks, chisel them yellow, and this is again something that we'll also start looking at making a biome for... Ooh, there's an Enderman. We need to go kill Enderman. We'll also look to start making a biome for the nether, so we can get pigment. And potentially even gas, depending on how we build a farm for that. So that is taken care of. And that they'll all be over there. We'll kind of make it nice and protected. The gas farm is going to have to be a little bit different than most of the others, but it's fine. Okay. So we have a little bit more yellow antimaterial. We have ender pearls, which is nice. Always nice to have ender pearls. And there's one more piece of gold. Let's make a second, just in case. For the storage. Alright, so these guys, anti-material and nitrates, can be put in there. There is the hard part of the golden egg. And that's going to make a lot of antimony. So antimony, of course, is going to give us a lot more in terms of the weird stuff. Let's go ahead and decompose the paracells. We have 5. That is not enough. Alright, so paracells, because of the nature of them, we have the golden egg, and we need to surround it, don't we? So we need 3 more. Yes. So that's going to be a little bit of a pain just because of needing more cells. These guys don't really work too well with anything else. Let's go ahead and grab the scarecrow. We'll put him right here and see if that affects these guys' growth. I don't know if it does. But alternatively, we could try to get lucky with the paracells and decompose these guys. Nothing. Alright. We can grab the omni matter and hopefully we get some good stuff out of that. Nothing. Seriously? Alright, well, what do we do? I guess we can stop there for now. We get 2 more of those, and we get a temporal matter. Alright, I guess that's fine. So what do we need to do? I need to take all of this carbon and put it in here and make more carbon nanotubes because that's super duper important. So I'm gonna get a lot more carbon. We need to have on the order of like 10. I believe it's 10 for each plains biome charge. And we can make another one because we are out. But I'm going to make a bunch of carbon nanotubes, make the plains biomes, get this guy completed. And all the while, we're going to closely farm so we can get plenty of paracel, the element, the chemical. And that's kind of the plan. So as we get more stuff, we make more things. It's really all there is to it. One of the big things that I can do now is we can start working towards not only the flawless calculator. It's going to take a lot of redstone, a lot of iron, a lot of everything. But the barrel, beryllium, the barrel is also used. I saw something else that was needed for it, the hell capsules. We're going to need a lot of it though. The hard part is the beryllium, which does come from emeralds as well, because we can get beryl from emeralds. So something I think might not be a bad idea is potions. So there is a brewing stand pet. That's going to require a bunch of brewing stands, but we can make a brewing stand. We need to make nether wart, and we need to, I think that's what we'll work on. Let's move this guy again. I don't like him there. Let's put him like right here. Hopefully that affects that stuff. I don't know if it does. So here's the plan. We are going to, next episode, we're going to start looking at making some soul sand, which should not be much of a problem. We're going to try to make the paracel mob. We're going to try to make nether wart. And then the only thing left that we'll have to really kind of focus on is getting more supplies, getting more iron, and I'm going to try to get the... we might start trying to make a basic mob spawner. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a little bit all over the place, but we have now probably one of the most important things in the game, which is the Philosopher's Stone. That is going to be so useful for a lot of things later. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!